Here. Okay. Okay, we're going to the committee meeting. Our first presenter is from, I hope I pronounced it right, Azabar?
Correct.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tom Fagan, as a Government Solutions. Right.
I'm sorry, Tom, your last name is Fagan?
Tom Fagan? Yes. I'm from Asphalt Government Solutions, we've got a company that's in business for over 20 years. We're staffed downtown Chicago. We have like communities, next and in the middle of two of our communities in the area. And we're a technology-based company, so I have a tech base as well as a bio base. So we have a company that has proprietary software with our tech side development software. So it's proprietary to us and no one else. I've been working with Glenwood and Linwood to do a proposal, a consortium. Gene Williams came to whenever this Linwood is approving the contract next week, and Glenwood has already approved the contract. I have been by being in a consortium. Our normal fee is 55%, 40-55 for the municipality, 55% for SMR. By going into this consortium, we can get 60% to the municipality.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. By doing the consortium, you can get 60% of what we find and 40% goes to ASMR. And I'll explain how that works. We're here to maximize revenue for Sauk Village with the Illinois government taking 2% of your locally administered taxes through IDOR now and 10% of their LGDF for this year. We're here to make sure that all your revenue sources in utilities, whether it be ComEd, NICOR, Comcast, AT&T, cable franchise fees, sales tax, making sure all those streams of revenue are being correctly geocoded by each address. And what I mean is we take the water billing data or the GIS data from the municipality and then get it from the provider, whether it be ComEd, and match up those databases to make sure the geographic code, which is, for example, 60629-1234, that geocode needs to be on every address for it to be remitted correctly to Sauk Village. IDOR sends out all their information by USPS postal address, which is not the most prudent way to make sure that they're making sure that Sauk Village is getting every dollar it's due. With the providers like Comcast and ComEd, NICOR, they tend to get neglectful on annexations or borders of towns. So if you're bordering Glenwood or Linwood, or you share a zip code, there are a lot of times miscodings can happen. Now I say the 55-45%, you might say that that's a large sum. This is money that you wouldn't know is due to the village. So you could say, Tom, go to the door now and see you later, and not do it. And you could do it and not see any savings, and everything might be coded correctly. So it's peace of mind for the municipality to look and make sure that each and every revenue stream is getting what it serves in each area. We have, in most areas, we can go back 3 to 6 years in your utilities. This is the comprehensive revenue program. You can go back 3 to 6 years, except for telecom, which is as you find it. And we do try to get those past remittances back to you. We have a legal team at our disposal out of Washington that on our dime, litigates that if need be. So we don't use any municipal staff time, and that is huge. So we just need a conduit person, a mohawk, that we could say, these are our findings, this is what we're doing with combat and 911. We have, we're over 175 municipalities strong, so when they see us coming, they will ask us already. Mike knows that we have a process that we've worked on over the last 20 years. When we do our kickoff and initial review, it's a matter of making sure that we align the correct revenue streams, of which you have a lot of revenue streams: electric, gas, telecom, cable franchise, food and beverage, Airbnb. We're also bringing Airbnb to the table. They like to say that they're just a platform, and they're not. So we're going with our municipalities that we have now and going back to get those said taxes for Airbnb as well. We collect the data, and collecting the data means we need a table, we need a chair, we need your file cabinet for your ordinances and all your pertinent documents. We scan those and we're off and running. From the time that we sign the non-disclosure agreement and sign the contract, it's about 6 months to see the results. So running that analytics takes approximately 6 months. We can do it so quickly because we have analysts in each and every area, of which I'm one. I do electric and gas. I can tell a short story. I found 109 addresses in the north suburb that I got North Shore Gas and municipality together and got them on a conference call and said, there's 109 addresses here that are not in your system. And North Shore said to me, we don't have a gas meter on those. Well, the municipality went out and checked those. Normally we do that. They want to do it with their public works, and they found at least 55 of them had gas meters that were at the hospital that were now remitting the taxes. So we're here to maximize your revenue. It's sharing money that you wouldn't know is due to you. After 3 years, it's annuity in perpetuity. You get it forever. All we ask is that you share with us for 36 months. We've done a lot of great work. You might say, well, how much can Sauk Village, get from this? We don't know until we get in there. We're assuming all the risk in this proposition. We're taking the chance that, we are finding revenue for you. So, like I said, it could be 45% of nothing. It could be, if we don't find anything, we go out the door and we say, peace of mind that, Tom Fagan, Sauk Village resident, walked in and said, why did you raise my tax? 0.25, you can say, well, this is what we did. We did a comprehensive study on each and every revenue source to make sure it was remitted correctly for each address. This is a huge one. I always like to say if I could put if I could have an ambulance siren, this is a blow-up version of this left side here. All these red dots were an electric provider that miscoded them as either unincorporated or not on their database at all, which meant this municipality wasn't getting that money. We were able to return that to this said municipality. The next page is the proprietary software that's proprietary to us and only us. You'll see this is an address in Glenview. It gives the analyst through the databases and third-party databases and your water billing data the opportunity to see if it's place, if it's lane, if it's the correct zip code. It's not just Google Maps. There's other underlying websites within this tool that help the analyst identify if it's an error or if it's not. In summary, so do you have any questions so far?
So,
Okay.
so you mentioned the agreement. You said we can possibly get up to 40. You keep 40%, we keep 60%, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's for 36 months.
For 36 months.
Okay, so say if there are no findings at all, you have some kind of contingency fee that you charge?
There's no fee or anything. If we don't find anything, You know, in some areas, for some municipalities, there have been no findings in that area. We found that it was all clean. So there's 8 different audits we're doing. We're doing sales tax. We're making sure that all your businesses are remitting as they should be and giving you that information. We also have a sales tax application, which is something different that I told Mayor Burgess and we'll talk about later, that helps the finance director look at those CDs that they get from IDOR. If you have a reciprocal agreement, we have a new application that's on our tax side. That's about a $2,000 investment per year to look at your sales tax data instead of getting, just a check from IDOR and going, I believe you, my eyes are closed, thanks so much. You can actually look at the data, collapse and combine it, look at it in report forms, so you guys would be able to have more line of sight to that data. But yes, if we don't find anything, we don't bill anything. The other big thing is, so the billing wouldn't start until 6 to 9 months, and it would be given to you in a verification memo, probably to go on, where we say, these are the addresses, per each address, this is how much we will share. So I'll give an example. It's 123 James Street. We get a 2-year average from the provider, and I'm just going to throw out $2.43. And it's usually residential addresses are $2 to $3. Commercial, industrial, you get to $5, $10 an address. It's an average of 24 months. And so that $2.43 for 123 James Street, we share 55-45%. So however many addresses there are, they do an average. And then we do what we call a true-up at the end of each year, like we're in a true-up period right now, so that we make sure that it was $2.43 after they give us the average. They give us the actual data that says, this is what this address remitted. We don't need to know Tom Fagan lives there, we just need to know that address was where it is.
So your focus primarily is on finding these addresses that are miscoded. But do you also, to your point about IDOR and the discs that they would send out to the municipalities, are you also double checking to see if there's miscodings of those border businesses or even within, to say, oh wait, you're in Linwood, but you're really in Sauk Village. So it's not that they're paying increased taxes, it's just getting it straight from an IDOR perspective so that we're getting the credit, not the other municipality.
Correct. We work with the municipality. The municipality needs to request that information from IDOR, and then we match up the database that you have to make sure that each and every business is remitting correctly. Quick story, there was a downstate municipality where they had, I believe, a gasoline station. It was on the rolls for one trimester, because it's every 4 months of data, you get it 3 times a year. It was on the rolls for one trimester, and we found that that it was taken, the address was taken off of IDOR's list the trimester later. We just saw that the address wasn't on that, so the village wasn't getting that dollar amount, because it went off the rolls. So that's what we're looking at as well. Okay, we have over $80 million of history of recoveries. We're a comprehensive audit that catches, collects, corrects, and monitors. And that's where we're going with our company. We want to help municipalities. Like I said, with the sales tax application, we're also getting into locally administered tax application with Joliet as our first big customer, who will be going electronic with us as of January 1st, and we will help them administer their locally administered tax at a lower fee, lowest in the state, for motor fuel, for business license, for food and beverage, and for hotel motel. So that's a big thing with our company that's coming up January 1st. We're right through coming to the end of the beta ramp up in Joliet, and other municipalities are looking at as well. But right now it's just for the audits, and then we can, if that works out with you and you see, a vision. We're trying to have visionary communities think of doing better for customer service wise, helping businesses pay their taxes because they want to, and residents want to pay their taxes more efficiently, and you're taking full-time staff and you're giving them other things to do to help you economically develop your community instead of taking a check and taking a piece of paper and depositing the check now and giving it to somebody else. You're taking all that manual labor out of it so other things can be done. That is pretty much my presentation. And so, like I said, Glenwood has already signed it. By December 31st is the deadline for the 60/40 to become effective. The other community that's in this as well as Country Club Hills. I'm just talking to Mayor Ford, and I'm going to be talking to them next week and see if they'd like to do it. But as of right now, it only needs to be the 3 of the 4 communities. So Country Club Hills is in this as well.
So,
And I'm sorry, you said Glenwood is signing the contract?
Glenwood has signed the contract.
Has signed it. Where is Glenwood?
Linwood is approving it on the 12th. And we'll sign it, and then the Sauk Village, and then the 60/40 kicks in at that moment.
so when would the process actually start?
The process would start immediately as you sign the contract. That's a very good question. I precipitate the process. We do a kickoff call, and then ultimately schedule the intake. And then within the process, the person that's the conduit person that we work with gets a 90-day update from me, because I do it for all 175 municipalities on a quarterly basis to let you know this is where we are in the process. So it's not a matter of just sign the contract, I'll let you know in 9 months. No, you'll see something from me every 90 days to let you know this is where we are in the process and this is how many errors we've done.
Is there like a average number of houses that you find that are incorrectly coded based on, the size of the community? Like, we have almost 10,000 residents.
Right.
Is there like a number that you,
Like I said, you don't know what you don't know until you get in there and dig. It all depends on how well the provider for that community has done their due diligence. We found millions by mistake where another provider miscoded full municipalities. So I would think you're getting closer to the Chicago area, it would be a little cleaner. Yes, you don't know what you don't know until you go into it. That's why we're assuming all this and making sure that it is clean.
And is your intention to be in here, work for the 36 months, and then step away unless you can sell us one of your other lines of business?
We always feel like we're always, in the fight with the municipality. So basically the contract terms are just for the 36 months. If the municipality would like us to do more or keep checking, we do that as well. And we have findings, we help with best practice ordinances. So we're always a resource for the municipality if they need it. So it's not just a matter of 36, see you later, here's your money. We like to think of it as really working with the municipalities to grow their economic development.
Any other questions?
I see that you have no upfront costs from fees. Is there any other cost?
No. Yes, and believe me, I've seen that face before. They're like, if it's too good to be true. No, there is no upfront costs. There's no fees. There's no fees. There's no town fees. No, it's what we find. It's just a matter of we'd like to share with you. We'd like to share what we find for that 36-month period, and then it's yours in perpetuity. And Matheson and Midlothian are two, of clients that I've just gotten last year that we've returned money to in sales tax and cable. There was one in Midlothian that we found that a restaurant wasn't on the rolls for Idor, and we just got that back on the rolls to start collecting. So.
Now, is the 60-40% of that for the next 3 years?
That's correct. Not 3 years, but when you start billing, it's 36 payments. So
if I heard Tom correctly, the 60/40 is only good until the end of this year, so we would have to approve. And if we go into January, then it drops back to 55/45.
Right, and the other municipalities would be at 55/45, all three have to come together.
All right, I'll ask Madam Clerk to put this on the agenda to be voted on next week. Any more questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Let the mayor know or Mohan and take that, I can use Yes. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, the next item, as you can see, is a preview of proposed website. He's not here to do the presentation, so we're going to skip down to the tax levy ordinance. Everyone got a copy of the tax levy? We have to file every year. In December, we file for the tax levy that's given to us in the following September, or roundabouts when they collect the taxes. The second payment is when we get our tax levy, but it'll be paid out, the increase will be paid out the second. You're still going to get taxes each and every time they do it twice a year. So this year, the most that we could raise would be 2.1%. So you can see the breakdown, and the column in the middle is what the actual increase would be, and the different headlines or the different items that are being taxed, that we tax every year, or that are taxed anyway by the county. So you can see that this would, we do it every year. You only go 2%, anything more than that, then you have to file a whole lot of other paperwork, and then it has to be approved by the board of the county and the state to basically find out why you need to raise more. So every year we just do a 2% raise. Are there any questions? Okay. Your next item that yes, this should be on the agenda along with the ordinance. The ordinance will be will be given to you guys hopefully by before the board meeting, which will probably be next Friday, this coming Friday. We'll have the ordinance ready. The next one on the agenda is the proposed board and committee meeting. You can see that these are the proposed dates to be determined. There may be some that may be in December, that they may only be 2 weeks. And quite naturally, if we have to have a special meeting, some of those meetings I'll try to have them on the same day that we have a committee meeting, and just have it a half an hour ahead of time if we have to have some special meeting. So this is the calendar for next year starting January. And that'll also be on the agenda for next week to be voted on.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
can I make a suggestion at this time? Something that I think, as I look at the calendar, in some of our meetings, I look, have a couple of things on it. I really think that we should go down to possibly 2 or 3 meetings a month instead of 4. Which would save money, number one, because sometimes on the agenda, there's not a lot. And if it can be held off, I would say that's what we should do. But it's just a suggestion that I think we should go down to either 2 or 3 meetings a month. If you have to have a special meeting, you could do it on, like you said, on one of the nights of the meeting. But that's just simply a suggestion to try to save money.
Thank you. That'll be well taken for consideration. If we don't have anything, we can wait. We can do that. Okay. The next one, 2018 calendar for municipal office officials. This is something that we just wanted to pass out to you guys and let you look and see exactly what's going on for the 2018 calendar. Something that you should have a copy of. You should also look at it and see if there's anything that you might want to contribute to. And some things that you may not know about. That just good information. Pass it on. All right, the next one is the sexual harassment prohibition information. As you know, there's been a lot of things in the news concerning that. So there's been, we're going to actually put a resolution together, and it's going to be, it is mandated by the state. So there will be sexual harassment information put out. And this is something that we will adopt this ordinance. And first, before we do that, I'm going to give this ordinance to the Ordinance Review Committee so they can look it over too and then bring it back to us if there's something else that they may see that there may be something else that they may want to look at and bring back to us or recommend. So this ordinance will be given to the Ordinance Review Committee, and we will be voting on it as soon as we get it back.
Mayor, if I might make a suggestion, you know, it's not just about sexual harassment, it's about harassment in the workplace in general. And I would suggest that we have training for our employees on the topic of harassment. I know in my day job, that's something that we have to, as a mandatory practice, there are several different classes every year, and workplace harassment is one of them. It's not a matter to be taken lightly, and I think that we should really consider doing something that for our employees so they know what is acceptable and what is not.
Okay, that's a good idea. All right. Item F, Muni Code update. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We talked about this briefly at last week's meeting, and you asked me to go on this one. But I just really wanted to reiterate to board members that we will move forward with what was approved already in terms of updating the ordinances. The codes that came to us as a result of providing notification that we were updating our online systems is really cost prohibitive. It's not in our budget as the other one was. So it would be my recommendation that we forego updating the codes and maybe look at that another year. The codes, I mean, I'm talking about zoning codes. Let's see, yeah, the zoning. And I just really just wanted that for the record that I'm not asking that we move toward updating the zoning, but just move forward with the new codes that we had already approved.
Can I ask, could you please reach out to Mohan and have him make a note to include the zoning in next year's budget?
Sure.
That it?
That completes our muni code.
Okay. The next one is the policy for election canvassing. Now, we've, over the years since I've been trustee, it's always been gentleman's agreement or shake of hands or acknowledgement. I think it's time now we put something in writing. So I'm asking on the trustees to give me some suggestions that we can put in writing and give it to the Ordinance Review Board to look at about canvassing in the Village Hall itself. So I just want to give that give everyone a chance to come up with something we can compile. We can bring it back at another committee meeting and look it over. I will have some things that, you know, we can just look over and kind of narrow it down so we can have something in writing. There's nothing in writing that I know of. I know there was an agreement. I couldn't find anything, but I know there was an agreement at one time, so it's just something that we can put in writing of how we're going to handle the election canvassing inside the village hall. Any questions? Okay. Need a microphone up there. At this time, I will entertain public comment. All questions and comments shall be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on any matter pertaining to village business of Sauk Village. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debates.
Good evening.
Please state your name, please.
My name is Pastor Derek Williams.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir, go ahead.
I recently received a bill for over $5,000. I'm sure you heard of it.
Derek Williams.
My name is Pastor Derek Williams. Can you hear me now? I recently received a bill for over $5,000. $5,613.72 to be exact, due to your meters wasn't working properly. I tried to get in touch with you. You haven't gotten in touch with me, sir. I understand that you're a busy man, but I'm a constituent. And even your own people need to get a response. Sir, I'm not responsible for your meters. The meters belong to Sauk Village. Sauk Village is supposed to maintain their meters, sir. Sauk Village is supposed to come out and look at their meters as well. If anything's wrong, then they replace it. You haven't given me an explanation how this bill accumulated to this. Now I'm standing here not saying that I don't pay the bills, because right here I have a copy of all my bills, water bills, been paid. Can you explain that to me, sir?
Okay, is that all you have? No,
No, I don't have all, because see, I got about what,
I'm
a minute
asking
and a
you,
few
is
more
that all that
seconds,
you
right?
have? Is that all that you have to say right
Sir,
now?
should it be enough?
No.
I have an autistic son at home, sir. I have a baby girl at home that's going to lose water. It sounds like you're just some bogus gangster stuff to me, sir, if you really want to know it. You're going to tell me here's your shut-off notice and you have no chance to pay this at all? Or even talk about it? Is that fair, sir?
Okay, the reason why I was asking was you through with that, because I can give you an answer real quick. It's not hard.
It isn't?
No, sir.
Okay, now tell me how
Okay,
to
the
get
answer
you, sir.
was the day I did call you.
No, you didn't, sir. I wouldn't even allow you, sir.
Okay.
Please.
We called you twice
No, you
today.
didn't, sir. No, you didn't. Mr. Mahone got in touch with me today. I can tell you, Mahone got in touch with me
Mahone,
today.
yeah.
I don't care what his name
Okay,
is.
that's
Very
who
rude,
we-
sir. He's
okay,
very
and
rude. He's a rude guy anyway. But he got in touch with me today to tell that I must set up a meeting with you. And at the time, you said you were leaving. You remember that, sir? Remember that?
Like I said, I'm not gonna go back and forth. I'm trying
Okay,
to.
I understand, but you not go back and forth and tell me that you remember it though, right?
Yes,
Sir,
I'm trying to.
are you telling me
Okay.
that this bill is not significant? Are you telling me that this bill does not need the attention to be addressed to? Are you telling me that kids that have autism, kids that will be going without water in the wintertime, are you telling me that's civil? Is that civil, sir? What do you become a mayor for, to be a civil person or not? Well, sir,
Are you
why?
sure- are
I'm
you
a
sure-
pastor. I have a compassion
I-
for the people.
I'm
You a mayor, you're supposed to have compassion for your people who voted you in, sir, right? 1 minute, no problem, man. I'm gonna sit down exactly, because I know to respect the authority here. So, sir, can you answer myself while the seconds are ticking, please?
I was going to try to answer, sir, but every time I answer you.
I have a
you
right, don't I, man? You think I'm supposed to be a calm
No, I
intelligent?
didn't say that, sir. I asked you.
Let me ask you a question, sir, before my
See,
time is
that's
out.
not- that's
How
not-
would you react, sir, if you got a bill for over $5,000? If you won the mayor, wouldn't you be in front of the mayor? Wouldn't you be in front of the mayor, sir? Wouldn't you be in front of the mayor, sir? Yeah, you'd be in front of the mayor, like I'm in front of you. Now, I was told on the news that you're the one to solve this thing. I can go on my way. Sir, could you please solve this bill? After all, I paid my bills to your faulty equipment. Now, if I don't get it solved, sir, I'm taking higher authority. Like you would do. Like anybody in here would do.
Time.
Thank you.
Now, that you gave me a chance to say something. What I was trying to let you know is we did try to call you today. I wanted you to come in today so we could solve this problem.
I paid half of it, sir?
I respected your
Okay,
minutes.
I'm sorry.
All I'm trying to do is answer your question without back and forth rebuttal. All I'm saying is I asked, yes, Mr. Mohan called and asked you to come in. Somebody from whoever that you knew called me and told me that if he doesn't or we don't resolve this, they were going to sue. For what reason, I don't know. Why are we suing? I don't know. Your water has not been cut off. I can't, if I got to go back and forth, sir, then I'm just going to leave it alone. I gave you your 3 minutes, didn't I? Did I give you your 3 minutes? Okay, so I'm asking you to let me explain to you what it is that I'm going to do. If you're willing to come in tomorrow, I'll be in my office. Okay, we'll be, and I can sit down and talk to you and discuss with you what it is, but I will not try this out in public. I will not bring this to the newspaper because this is something that is for you. This is your personal business. I'm not going to air your laundry out in the front of everyone, but we will, and I will talk to you. I will talk to you about your bill tomorrow. If you can come in before you leave tonight, give me a time that you can come in tomorrow and I'll set. If you can give me a time that you can come in tomorrow, I'll set aside that time. We can sit down and we can discuss how it happened, when it happened, and what we can do to move forward. And that's all I can tell you, sir. But I'm not going to go back and forth and do all this. Because this is something that it's inherited. I didn't know that it was 3 years going. I just found that out today, that it was a 3-year pass. So you're saying that you knew, or someone, whatever, it's 3 years and you got this. Okay, fine. It happened now, as I stated. We will sit down together, you and I, and we will take care of it. Just let me know what time you can come tomorrow. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, I want to piggyback off of it. My name is Angelique Williams, and I want to piggyback off that. I cannot understand why there's an issue because, as you stated, that's my brother. And the problem that I have with the village is the fact that they changed his meter twice. You said that you're just finding out about it. However, he sent a letter dated for November 3rd that was supposed to be given to each and every one of you. Dated November 3rd. So how is it that you just found out about it? Today is December 5th. You mean to tell me your committee takes 30 days to pass information this important on to you? That poses a problem for me. Now, there's another gentleman here who I found out that on the back of his water bill says that 10 to 20% of water bills may not reach the residents' houses. That means that 10 to 20% of your committee is not doing the job. 100% of bills should be sent out, because if you have the audacity to bill people 100%, you expect your payment in 100%. And as my brother said, as a human being, you would be just as upset. See, we got to take out of politics and get the humanity back in office. Because what you're dealing with is people. You're not dealing with ordinances. You're not dealing with race. You're dealing with real people, with real problems, with real families and real issues, just like you, sir. Now, let me ask you a question. I have a question for each one of you on the committee. How much was your water bill? I want to know. How much was your water bill? And if your meter is faulty, how quickly does it get repaired? And I also want to know on your website, why is there a link for everything else, but there's not a link for how you calculate your water bill? Every other website, I live in Glenwood, I can go on Glenwood and pull up the contract that they have between Chicago Heights and the village. I can go to Homewood and pull up their contract that they have with the Lake County. I can go to Chicago and pull up a contract of how they calculate water. Where's the transparency of the utilities that you're providing for your people? That's my question. Because what I have a question is, if I go out here and run a light on Torrance, your police department is going to make sure I get that ticket. And they're going to demand that I pay it, or it will double. And then not only will it double, it'll go on my license as a moving violation. So how come you can hold your citizens and your residents accountable, but no one can hold you accountable? You, sir, are in a position that God gave you first. Authority is by Him first, and then it trickles down. So we've respected your authority, but you have to respect the people that you have authority over. That's my time.
Yes.
I'm here tonight to talk about the gunfire and all of the shooting that's going on in Sauk Village. I have received numerous phone calls about gunshots and about gunfire that's going throughout the village. I have heard personally myself at 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, gunshots, people pulling up in neighborhoods, shooting out windows. We look at houses one day, the next day it's all boarded up, the windows are all boarded up. I've talked to the chief about it. We've been talking about it in the different blocks about it, and I just want to know, since there is no more neighborhood watch, since it was disbanded, and there's supposed to be a new program up and going in place, there's no evidence of it. Nobody that I know knows anything about it. Nobody haven't received any literature about it. Although every administration is different and may handle things differently, we made sure that we were in the community, engaging residents, letting them know to keep their front and back porch lights on, and letting them know that we was there in regard to if they saw any kind of movement on their block that was suspicious, if they saw something to say something. I understand that the phone calls have gone from the police department from 1,200 a month to under 400 phone calls a month with people calling in. It's a serious issue. Residents don't feel safe. I personally do not feel safe. People are really engaging in getting concealed to carry. Just to post a meeting that you're having is somewhere and there's nobody there but 3 or 4 people. It's not an effective program to me. I also heard that the new administration wanted the police chief to take it over. When we had neighborhood watch and the housing commission, we did all of that work. We had over 41 block captains in 80 blocks. And some of them took multiple blocks to make sure that those phone calls were made. I've seen the police try their best. With as many police that's on duty at night, the gangbangers don't have many police cars out at night. So my question is, whatever is being done to take over neighborhood watch and the housing commission, I see no evidence of it, and those residents are not feeling safe. And I tell them to come to the village hall. And just like I've heard tonight, there's no response. I have personally come to the village hall to ask to speak to you, Mayor, in regard to the Human Relations Commission. I've talked to your secretary, asked her would she give me something in writing, stating that I've been here over 10 times in the last 100 days to no avail to meet with you or to see you while we are not allowed to meet, and we are licensed commissioners for the Human Relations Commission. I also want to talk about etiquette. You know, everybody wants so much respect. You can't talk, but when we were in office with the former administrations, people would sit out here in the audience and call us bobbleheads and would call the mayor a-hole and say whatever they wanted to say. Calculating, saying all kind of derogatory things, and we would sit there, up there, we would take it. But now if somebody talks to the audience, y'all want to stop and look like, who's saying something? Who do you think you are? Somebody can't talk because you talking. People are grown. You can't stop nobody from saying whatever they want to say. If nobody's being out of order, at one point, the former mayor wanted to have a policeman to come off the streets and be here to keep order because people was about to fight. You, in particularly, Mayor Burgess said, why do we need somebody here policing us and watching us? The police need to be on the street. I think you ought to go back and revisit some of those minutes that you all made remarks in about things that you all said about the previous administration. Are you seeing time or are you seeing the minute? Okay, thank you. That's okay, I'll be back next week. I got plenty more to say.
I was intending to come up and be the first speaker. I would like to say that I voted for each and every one of you guys. But now, 5, 6, a lot of people. For a 3-bedroom home, the man didn't pay each one of his bills. I hope that you give him some type of relief on that because that is ridiculous. I've been taught when I was a child that right is right and wrong is wrong. When I leave this world, I want heaven to be my home. I hope y'all want the same. Treat people right.
Yes, my name is Kelvin Garrett, and I'm here to address what I believe is a pervasive and very serious issue within our community. And I'm talking about the issue of pit bulls and vicious dogs that owners seems to have no control over. I moved to Sauk Village in January of 2016, and I just want to tell you about 4 incidents within that time. The spring of 2016, my wife was chased by 2 dogs that had jumped the fence. Luckily and blessedly at that time, they didn't bite her. And that summer, a pit bull had got loose, chased some children, jumped in the arms of a woman who had a small dog, killed the dog. The police was called, said that nothing could be done because no injury was done to the person. It was only done to the dog. Just last week, my wife was walking and got bit by a pit bull. The homeowners have no homeowner insurance, so she's off of work for 2 weeks. A couple days after that, 2 dogs were loose, chasing kids. I hear them running and screaming. I called the police. The dispatcher asked that I want the police to stop so that I could speak with them. I said yes. About 20 minutes later, the police came, did not stop, rode down the block 1 time, did not come back. The mother of the kids began to get into an argument with the dog owners. And so I see this issue as getting bad. When you look at the statistics of individuals that have been mauled and killed by pit bulls and vicious dogs, it is a serious issue. And in this small community right here, it is a serious issue. And it is my hopes that something can be done. I am asking that some ordinance be passed. There's 1,000 cities that have already passed different types of ordinance in regards to bans, muzzles, and other issues concerning pit bulls and vicious dogs. And I'm asking that, I don't know, I haven't read the books to see if there's any type of ordinances regulating these, but I know that they're not being enforced if there are. And I'm asking that there be some type of ordinance legislation. I would like to see a ban. These bans concerning pit bulls have been upheld in the federal and state courts. I would like to see muzzles have to be on these dogs. If you look at the height of these fences that are in most yards, they're not high enough to keep these dogs in. Postmen don't even want to come down and deliver the mail because of dogs. And so I'm asking that this really be given attention and something be done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There is a ordinance for vicious dogs on the books right now. Before you leave today, I need to get something from you because what alarmed me is you said that someone got bitten, you know who the dog is and nothing was done, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, I need to get that information from you because something will be done.
Filed a police report.
Okay, but I just want, because it should be. Something should have been taken care of at that time, an incident report, and should have been, and also the person, the owner of that particular dog should have been cited and that dog should have been taken. So if you can, before the night's out, if you got a few minutes, we'll get through, I'd like to get your information.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jackie Blaze. I have the same question I asked a couple weeks ago. I brought in 5 books. I gave the books to you, Mayor. They were donated by the library. I gave them to you. They have disappeared. I'd like to know where they are. They were supposed to be in the senior center. They are not there. Could you please find the books and have them put in the senior center for the seniors?
Okay, I did give the books to the senior committee. I cannot tell you what happened at that time, but I see the gentleman is here, so after the meeting tonight, you can ask him where it happened to the books, because I did give them to him at the same time when he handed them to me, so. I haven't been over there, I have been over there, but I haven't looked for the books, to tell you the truth, so. But the gentleman is here that's in charge of senior citizen center, and he can let you know.
I already asked him today, he never got it.
You can give them to him when I got them from you? Okay. Thank you.
Kathy Bencher. I just want to touch on what the gentleman said about the pit bulls. We've created several positions for the town. Why don't we have an animal control department? We've created everything else. I think we need to get an animal control because I see a lot of dogs running. I'm a dog lover. Everybody that knows me knows I am. I pick them up, bring them to my house, and take them to the animal hospital over in Chicago Heights. Not my job, but I do it because I don't want to see the animals hurt. I don't want to see kids hurt, people hurt. We need animal controllers and that thing.
Thank you. Any more?
Judy Caster. I was unaware of the other issues on the water, but my first question has to do with the water. I would like to know how much is owed in late water bills for the village. I would like to know how you determine, a while back, the ordinance was changed and the homeowner is now the person responsible for the water bill. I received my water bill recently. I have no problem with it. But at the same time I received my bill, I received my neighbor's bill. My neighbor is a renter. And I noted their bill is over $700, closer to $800. And it does show that there's a previous balance. Now, both bills are blue. I'm telling you, if I don't pay this within whatever they say on here, I'm going to receive a red one telling me if I don't pay it by such a date, my water's going to be shut off. But this one, showing a previous water balance of over $500, it's still blue, it's still carrying on. This bill went to the address of the renter. It didn't go to the homeowner. Previously, people that lived there packed their stuff in the middle of the night and took off, leaving this kind of stuff for the homeowner. To me, you're not protecting that homeowner that you now hold responsible for this bill if you're sending it to the renter without the homeowner's knowledge of what that bill is. And I'm sure he wouldn't be happy. So, I would like to know how much is owed in all these late bills, and how do we allow somebody to get over $700 in late fees and not get a turn-off notice?
1 minute.
Okay, I'm going to let that one go and move on to the next one. In the past administrations, there have been things that I indicated were the first time in the history of Sauk Village. And now I'm bringing up another first time in the history of Sauk Village. And I would like to know why we voted for everybody sitting there tonight, with the exception of Beth, who was appointed. But everybody voted and got supposedly what they wanted. You are a board. during the campaign, you, Mayor, indicated that the trustees handled the money. The trustees had important things to do, like you yourself know because you were in there for so long. Now my question to you is, in sitting here, meeting after meeting after meeting, I find it really hard to understand, why does a trustee have to file a FOIA to get answers? I have never heard of it in over 50 years of living in this town. There is no trustee that should be left in the dark.
In answer to your previous balance, which you saw on the bills, it could have been an arrangement, and that balance is carried over. If that person made an arrangement to pay something on their bill, so that's just a bookkeeping, and also to let you know, just like you have a credit card, you pay on it. If they made an arrangement at that time, it would still show that. If they decided, if they didn't pay their water bill and had made no arrangement, yes, you will get a red notice. And as far as the asking about FOIAs, I mean, if you ask about that trustee chose to because they cannot hold up anybody's time hours at a time. So they may feel that they need to FOIA to get their answers. But I've talked to this trustee since that time and tried to explain everything to them, to let them know that if you need something, okay, fine, and I provided whatever they needed. If they choose to go and file a FOIA, that's their choice. I cannot stop that. I cannot stop a person from filing and asking. But you're right. I've never had to FOIA anything. I asked and I have my questions ready. But if you choose to do that for whatever reason, that's the person's prerogative. Yes, ma'am.
Bernadine Hopkins. I would like to know if the street lights are on a timer of some sort, because on our block, it's like our lights are out like 3 consecutive days per week. I do believe that presents a very unsafe environment. Now, my other questions are related to accounts payable, because the way things are set up, I kind of have to ask my questions after the fact. So, on 11/28/17, on the accounts payable, what I'd like to know, the Owens Group HR consulting, they were paid $1,392, and this was January, excuse me, January 10th, 17th this year. I'd like to know what that was about, and then it goes on to where 10/13, 10/20, and 10/27, the Owens Group was paid $1,392 again, totaling $4,176, and that was just for 1 month. So I'm trying to get an idea what that was about. Please explain the payment to the Owens Group again. This one is 11/1/17. This was for $1,392, but then on 11/10/17, they were paid $4,176. That's only half of the month, and they're already at $5,568. So I'm trying to figure out where that's coming, what that's about. My other question is, it's someone called Strader or Strader or something like that, but I noticed that they are under HR services, and they were paid $850, 11/12/17 and 11/19. Now that seems HR services, that term keeps reoccurring, and these amounts are pretty large, and they're all kind of basically month to month. So I'd like to know what that's about. I have some more, but I heard us say a minute, so I'm good.
Okay, first of all, in answer to your question about the lights on the timer, they're on a day and night timer. When it gets dust, it's just like anything else, the lights are supposed to come on. If yours is not coming on, I need to find out what block you're talking about, and I can pass that on to Public Works. As far as the Owens Group, the first one that you're talking about, that's for HR services, is in the budget for $48,000. It could be that's her, what she gets, what Owens Group gets for HR, Human Resources Services. And that's what, it's split up financially monthly. And it could have been the money said for $4,000, could have been an old bill that we weren't able to pay and we had to catch up. $850 one, you said Dr. Straughter? She's doing our negotiations, and that's going to be something that we're going to have the person do. We used to have the lawyers do it for twice the amount. We got a contract coming up, and we have to start doing it as of right now with FOP, so we're trying to do our due diligence so we won't prolong this and there's going to be a lot of changes. So that's why she's working on that as we speak, instead of getting the lawyers. I'm not going to get the lawyers involved at this particular point because first of all, we can't afford it. Second of all, we don't need them right now. We have to get all of our wording out the way, everything we need to take care of and get it in, and then we get it to the lawyers after we do that. Okay. That's it. Your question was, you asked about the Owens Group,
No, I asked
and you
what it was
asked about
for.
Dr. Straughter.
I asked what was it for.
I said the Owens Group was for HR, Human Resources. And that's for our HR that she comes and does it 3 days a week. That's what the Owens Group is for. And the other one was just Dr. Straughter doing our negotiations for us. She's doing the negotiation work for the union. We have to have it done. We used to have it done by the lawyers at twice the amount of money. So now we're getting it done for half. Okay. That's it. Okay, general comments from the trustees. We'll start with Trustee Grant.
No comment, Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Zupan.
Couple things. First off, just as a reminder, if anyone is interested in attending tomorrow night, the Public Safety Committee meeting is at 6 p.m. here at Village Hall. Secondly, there are some sheets in the back. I know the fire department must have forgotten last week, but the Christmas pancake breakfast is this coming Sunday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bring your cameras because I think that Jolly St. Nick will be there as well for photos. So everybody please come out to support the fire department for that. Thank you.
Trustee Brewer.
Couple comments, Mr. Mayor. There have been other residents who have come to the village and requested that you look over the water bills because they're so large because of the new meters. I think that as trustees, we need to look into that, in-depth look into what's going on with those meters because there are so many residents coming up. Once they get a meter, it goes back and read whatever's there and they come up with a large bill. That's something we really need to look at because it's getting to be a major problem with residents. And as the Reverend said, he has 2 children there. And not only that, if you're a single person there, you don't want to be without water. So I think that's something we really need to look into, getting some answers on why these things keep happening with the water bill. Now, as far as the Orange Group, that's some information I had to for you because I didn't understand what was going on. I have the FOIAs to look at right now, but it looks like we're paying HR one price, and then we're paying for Dr. Straughter. We would have never known that unless somebody told us. It seems like to me that we're getting half of our information, and in order to get a whole picture, we need to find out supporting documents. That's why I submit FOIAs. And I had a meeting with the mayor. He's since I've been in office, I should say that, I have been trying to get answers, numbers, and every time you come to the meeting, I'm asking for numbers on this and numbers for that. It wasn't quite transparent at the time, so I had a meeting with the mayor last week. He gave me some information, a lot of information I have to send back to the state's attorney department because it was denied. Me as a trustee, I like supporting documents. I'm not gonna tell you anything if I don't know what I'm talking about. So, anything that I ask for is public information. Any of you guys can ask for it, as long as it's public information. And that's all it is to it. And as long as I'm here and they tell me I can't have that information, I'm going to for you. It's a waste of taxpayers' money for us. It's a waste of taxpayer money to send it to the attorney. Why not just give it to it? It's transparent and you're supposed to know. You need to know how your tax dollars are being spent. Now the mayor's starting to get a little open there and give me some information, but there's still a lot of information that we need to know. We've been here since May. We've been all over the place finding out things, that's going on and stuff. I have questions. You have questions, and my phone is going up every week. Well, what did this? How did this get here? How did this get here? I don't know because I haven't got the information. But now, as we go along, I'm hoping the mayor will be open, more open and transparent, and give me what I need in order to answer your question. And I'll continue to write for you in order to get answers that will be reasonable to any lay person and to any trustee. Because a lot of things will be, all of us are new, a lot of things we don't know. But we're willing to find out what's going on. In the past administration, a lot of things were covered up. Past administration before, a lot of things were covered up before then. But we need to know what's going on. We need to know about all these things. And we don't need to know what's going on here now. We need to know the history of what's going on, what you need to find out. And that's why I submitted for you. And I'll continue to, as long as the mayor refuses what I do, what I should tell you. I ask for it verbally, then I put it in writing. And if they refuse to give me what I need in order to make an informed decision, then I put it in for you. Now, Mark, the village clerk, in the last couple of weeks has read all my FOIAs. That means I didn't get the information. So it's not that I'm trying to spend money. I'm trying to find out what you guys and what I need to know about my tax dollars. And my last thing I want to say is that as far as Dr. Scrub, I got a whole stack. I need to go through and find out what's going on with Dr. I don't think something's not sitting with me right. I don't understand the whole concept of our boys group getting paid one, and then Dr. Schroeder comes in and gets paid something else. Something's wrong with that to me. But, it might not be, I don't know. Tell us in the documents and ask more questions about what's going on. So, when you guys elected us, that's what we're supposed to do. Ask questions about your tax dollars. And that's what I'm attempting to do. That's why I ran for it. Thank you very much. Oh, and Mr. Mayor, I have a whole list of other things I need, so do you want it now, or should I just give you a list?
Whatever.
Okay. So maybe we'll get some answers.
Are you talking to them or you talking to me?
I'm just.
Okay, so who's talking to the.
I'm just finished up, that's the end of my
Okay.
report, that's the end of my comment.
Okay.
Just to get some answers for.
You did it, every answer you asked for, you've gotten, that you've asked me for. Trustee Todd,
Well, no.
every answer, every question you asked me, I have given it to you.
You have the NABI documents.
You're not gonna get phone numbers, addresses, and names.
The employee handbook has no
You
phone
will
numbers,
not get
address, or names in there.
employee handbook, got nothing to do with the trustees, you know that.
Okay.
We're not gonna go back and forth like this.
Mr. Mayor.
We're not.
Let me say this, Mr. Mayor, when the president asked me for something, instead of them, send it for you, I'll send it for you. If they ask for something, that's how come I have something for you. I don't write these myself, residents ask me. I say, well, okay, I'll try to get it for you. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have several things actually tonight. One of the things that I have was our cleaning service. I realize that they come here during the day to clean, which is very hard, I'm sure, while we are still sitting here. But I was in the senior center today, and there are dead flies everywhere, along the sills, when I was here on Saturday, I'm cleaning up. We try to clean up after we put our decorations out. The floors are filthy. I'm not sure what they're doing or what they're not doing, but we're paying them per month, like $2,100 a month or $2,200 a month. And so I would like to see the village cleaned, but it needs to be cleaned. I was looking under benches as I was sweeping, and it's discouraging because it's not like they're cleaning for free. One of the things, and I realized that if they're cleaning during the day because you don't want them here at night, because I don't know if they're not trusted, I'm not sure. Most cleaning services would come in after the staff is gone because it's easier to clean than clean around people. But I wanted to bring up the one about the senior center because it's not clean at all. So I'm not sure what the duties are for that. The other thing that I have is, as a board, I feel that we should be informed. Now, I don't need to know the particulars. I don't need to even know what is really going on. But Trustee Tates has been gone for 4 weeks. I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be out, but the board should have been informed that, hey, he could be out for a while. What are we looking at? I have residents calling me, asking me what's going on, and I, as a board member, when I say I don't know, does not look good. So I don't need to know what has happened. I don't, there's, there's privacy issues, and I'm all for that. But as a board, we need to know how long he's going to be out, or what are we looking at? And that's all for that. The other thing that I have is last week at our board meeting, when we were asked to pay $5,300 in a Comcast bill. Now, at that time, it was mentioned that Public Works gets those bills. And I had asked, why does Public Works get those bills? And it was not answered. So I came in and I asked, what is the process? And the process, when I talked to the Public Works Director, is that several administrations ago, they were short-staffed. So responsibilities do get shifted. And I understand that. The bills, whether they be Comcast, ComEd, NICOR, go to Public Works Director. He codes them and he brings them to accounts payable. And at that point, I don't think that Mohan would see those bills. He would not know because they went to accounts payable. So if there's a process that needs to be put in place, because as I sat there and watched where Mohan is being beat up on, and we don't know the process. And I think it's important that we know before we jump to any conclusion, what is the process for that particular department. And that's all I have to say on that. So I don't know if Budget and Finance wants to come up with something where this is where those bills go. So he does not see those bills. But that happened several administrations ago. So this administration may want to look at maybe changing the process so that the bases are covered and that if Public Works are still going to do it, then accounts payable, but then Mohan is alerted if that bill is not paid. We're 90 days out anyway, for the most part, in our bills. On a lighter note, as you can see, the tree back there is not decorated because there was an issue with it. So I'm sending the tree back so we can get a new tree because the company did not put the right numbers on the branches, on how the branches go up there. Now I could leave it like that, but I'm not always going to be here. So I'm having a new tree delivered, so that's why you don't see any decorations on it, so I apologize for that. And that's all I have.
Trustee Jones?
First off, I want to thank the new faces that I did see this evening. People that come out that have concerns that's going on in their community. That's something that this is the time that we handle that business. And I'm glad that people are reaching out to right or wrong or get their needs addressed. So welcome, and thank you, and thank everyone for coming out tonight, for being concerned. We need more concerned residents. That the only way we get forward is addressing the problems that's holding us back. And I'm glad that you all, everyone came out and expressed their thoughts and feelings. Parks and Recs committee meeting will be this Thursday, 7 o'clock, here at the Village Hall. Saturday, the Christmas parade party will kick off 10 o'clock. Santa will be going block to block, coming down to each and every block. And so be on the lookout. You hear the sirens, you more than likely you'll see Santa flying behind the sirens. And that'll start at 10 and end at the community center around 2:30, 3 o'clock. We'll have hot cocoa, cookies, treats. So if you would like to come on down to the community center about 3 o'clock and get your picture taken with Santa Claus. And that's it.
In regards to Trustee Tate's, it's his call. I will inform you guys that when he's ready to come back, I guess he will let the board know right now. He hasn't conveyed that. That's all I can tell you as far as that's concerned, that he's not ready to come back yet. And when he is ready to come back, I'm sure that you guys will definitely be the first to know when I know about that part of it. As far as the Owens Group, and as far as Dr. Straughter, I have explained that several times, what we have planned on doing and how we plan on using Dr. Straughter. That's been explained at board meetings and at committee meetings. It was actually put into the budget. And one aspect he's using for the negotiation is under professionalism, which is our lawyers and our engineers. So she's getting paid out of that particular one, which I'm trying to, if you notice, if you've seen your accounts payable, the lawyer bills have been kind of low, and I'm trying to keep them that way because we cannot afford much more than what we're paying. But things happen, and when it does, we're a municipality. We have to get our lawyers to make sure we do things correct. My door is always open, Danny Trustee. I'm here every single day. So these are some of the concerns that you have. If I'm not in a meeting, quite naturally, I'll be there to discuss whatever problems that you may have, and I'm speaking to the trustees. The ones that come in, I'm here until 5 o'clock, so if you get off at a certain time, I'm still here until that time to come in. Yes, I may be in a meeting, but it hasn't stopped anybody before from knocking on the door and saying, I'd like to talk to you when you get through. That's all it takes. If my door is closed, quite naturally, I may be doing something, but it's still, you can knock on the door and ask and let me know that you need and that you're waiting, and I can, because it's with you, so my doors are always open. On a different note, Hometown Gyro, the old Hometown Gyro that's behind the Popeye's Chicken and the gas station is being torn down as we speak. That'll hopefully be taken down by the end of this month. The end of this week. And that's something that we've been trying to beautify and get rid of that eyesore. Because there was a lot of things going on. So that'll be taken down. We used this particular entity called SWAP. And all we have to do is pay for the dumpsters, so therefore, they're getting the manpower to take it down. I guess they're going to take the bricks or whatever aluminum that they have, they can take that with them. But we get the labor done for free. So that's something that I'm kind of glad that it was done, and hopefully we can get some commerce in there. Okay, but that being said, the people that Pardon me?
I have a question. statute that address trustees when they've been out? I mean,
No.
how many times can you be out? There's no Illinois state statute, so you just miss all meetings?
You don't get paid in that here.
No.
So no, they don't have to, no.
Replace him
The
every
only
so
thing
often?
that they replace a person is if they move out of their jurisdiction. So if they move out and they no longer have an address, they can stay in.
Okay, but he has to notify you. I mean,
Pardon me?
I mean, he's not available, you know, so I was just wondering, is there Illinois state statute that addresses?
He's not in the coma, so he's not incapacitated. So I'm just saying that he can, I mean, if you're sick, if you were sick for a week, a month, or whatever, had surgery, couldn't come in and be the same thing.
No, I'm just asking about that.
No, there's no state statute stating that you're not able to.
One other thing is that, Mr. Mayor, last week, you guys indicated, I'm sorry, we're out of order. He was in the middle of his report. Excuse me, I'm talking to the mayor, Marvin. I'm talking to the mayor. He's running the meeting, Marvin. Let him address me, Marvin.
Go ahead,
Let him address me, Marvin.
Trustee.
Mr. Mayor, last week, whoever indicated that there's going to be 15 cents a page for every page over 50 when you do a reporting request. But after doing some research all weekend, I see no place in there, but it says you're going to charge us 15 cents a page if this electronic transfer of data. So I would like to know where you guys get this information that you're going to charge us 15 cents a page.
Okay, we can I'll discuss that with you. I'll show you exactly where it's at. Right now, I don't have the resources to show it to you right now. And like I stated before, my door is open every day. I'm here every day. You know I'm here every day.
Yeah.
So the reason for this questioning right now, I don't know. I don't understand. But okay, well then, if we're gonna make grandstand our part of our platform, then I need to know. I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Todd. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. The guys that were need to get the please come up so I can get your address. I mean.